Welcome back to Her Shift. I'm Anna, I'm her, and these are my shifts. And here we're all about the one thing that unsticks, unstucks, unfs our life, and that is shifting, that is movement, that is change. And I'm not going to teach you, I'm not going to tell you, but I'm going to share with you how I unstuck my situation, which was, if you've been here before, I was sad, I was low, I was depressed, I had anxiety, PMDD, I am now perimenopausal, unhappy relationship, every day just going through the grind. Things are a bit different these days. Do the challenges stop? No. But I found that by honouring the one thing, and I'm going to tell you about that today, the one thing that got me through and started this whole shift movement was, well, it was that one moment, it was that one shift. On here, I do talk a lot about tools, resources, analogies, shifting moments, but it's got to start somewhere, right? There's got to be a decision, there's got to be a Tina Turner moment, there's got to be enough is enough. And that's when we make that shift. And for some people, they never get there. But if you're listening to this, I'm thinking that you're at the point where you really do want to shift. You do want to change. You are having a proper Donna Summers. Enough is enough. I can't go on. So I want him out. Yeah, you're having one of those moments. And I'm here to tell you about it. Before I start, the reason I've not done much face video content a lot this year is because of my health, if I'm going to be quite honest, and the way that it's changed how I look and therefore how I feel about myself. And one of my shifts, and it's not what I'm going to talk about today, was to take action and think, you know what, I'm not happy looking like this because obviously I've got the health problems and the PMDD, and I've been proper slapped in the face with perimenopause, and it's utterly shit. And every symptom going. But the one that's got to me the most was before I would do a video, I would do a TikTok, and I would just take my hair down, give it a swish, and I had so much hair. And it seemed to me no matter what I did with it, I could get by on caffeine and dry shampoo. And it used to look pretty good. And now that perimenopause has proper kicked in, obviously there's a barrage of symptoms: weight gain, itchiness, insomnia, depression. It's awful. But my hair has been absolutely effed. But I'm going to take it down and I'm going to show you if you're watching on YouTube, because I think it's just showing a little bit more shine. So I've taken action, I've taken a shift, I've written down why I'm not happy and how I feel about myself, how it's affecting my mental state. And my hair has just been coming out in clumps. Like every time I washed it, it was just coming out and coming out. So I stopped washing it. I was like maybe washing it once a week and using dry shampoo, but it didn't help. Anyway, I'm taking the supplements, I'm taking the collagen, I'm taking bioidentical HRT, and I'm also doing the whole rosemary oil and the head massage. I've only been doing it a week, but that's the shiniest my hair has looked in over a year. So I think I'm going to leave my hair down. There we go, because my hair is important to me. I would even say, based on the last episode, it's a value to me. It really matters. I like good hair, I like big hair. So I will keep you updated on my rosemary oil mixed with Bellman oil carrier journey. I'll let you know about that. But anyway, back to today. And that I am so unhappy. I am so stuck. What do I do? What do I do? Now, obviously, I'm going to say that you have to shift, but how vague and how indirect is that? What do we do? Like going, I've got this going on. I've got the drudge of everyday life. I hate my job. I'm not happy in my relationship. I've got health issues. I've got PMDD. I'm going through menopause. The kids have got this going on. That it's just whatever stage or era you are in life, and whatever your background or your financial status, the same seems to apply. It's just maybe lived out differently. My biggest shift, without a doubt, was the change in my relationship. So it was separating, it was getting divorced. And it was huge. And I now look back and go, bloody hell, I can't believe I did that, because I know the reason why so many women don't do it. And they really just put up with an unfulfilling, mediocre, beige relationship. And they do that because they tell themselves it's not horrendous, it's tolerable. What we tolerate becomes actually our cage. I've spoken about that before. And they're thinking, do you know what? If it was 10 times worse, if it was abusive, if it was this, it was that, then maybe I would have the motivation or real reason to do something about it. But while it's tolerable, and it absolutely breaks my heart to hear that, because I know that no matter the situation, unfulfillment is unfulfillment, trauma is trauma, it can't be compared. A shit relationship that can't be salvaged is not going to get better, and all you're going to do is dull down the voices in your head, your dreams, your goals, your happiness. The conversations that I've had with other women where they get to a certain point where you think, well, the kids are, once the kids are grown or start to move on, maybe think about grandchildren, things like that. And they're at a point where they don't like their partners such, so maybe they definitely don't love them, but they can tolerate them. They don't mind it, it's completely livable. And they'll also justify it by saying, I've got so much, I've got a roof over my head, we've got money for X, we do this, and I've got, great things out of it. So I've got, I love my job, or I've got my kids, or I've got my grandkids. So what have I got to complain about? And it's just the idea of the rot that's happening to them. And not only that, will they then become so stoic and so bitter to other women that have shifted, made the shift. It is such a big deal. It is such a huge thing. And I think I viewed it as, imagine Everest, the life you want, the happy life you want, the unstuckness, whatever it may be, whatever part of your life you're unhappy with, is on the other side of Everest, and you have to climb the bastard thing before you can get over it. That is going to be really off-putting, especially because you're thinking most of us mortals are not really, we're not conditioned to be able to climb Everest. And even if we did have certain traits, then it's down to look like weather, things like that. It's a really hard ongoing thing. And I think as well, it's probably quite daunting because unlike Everest, I guess when you're climbing it, you can always, if you get a bit stuck, you can go back down or wait a bit longer. But perhaps with such a big shift in your life, you can't really go back. You have to keep going and going and going until you reach the summit and then go over the other side. It's terrifying. It's really terrifying. And my perspective has changed so much, especially when it comes to changing your life and your relationship and how you live and things like that, because it's not easy. It's so not easy. And we as humans, we just crave familiarity. And that is what causes our stuckness. There was obviously pinnacle moments in my separation, in my divorce, and me making the house the way I wanted it, changing my work hours, how I was a parent, how I showed up as a parent, how I moved on. Obviously, there were big pinnacle moments, but looking back, I've realised that there's one thing that has been so huge to my shift journey and has got me from so stuck, and has kept that has been the biggest thing in that momentum. We have to keep shifting, right? I'm sorry to tell you that. If we're stagnant, it's not good. It's not good. Even when we feel like we've achieved absolutely everything, and if that's you, can you please tell me who you are and how you got there? But if you've achieved absolutely everything, you still have to keep shifting. You still have to grow, to expand, because it's not good. Stagnancy is not good. So what is this one thing? Okay, I like an analogy. So the fastest way, I've written it down and I've written it in capitals here, the fastest way to become unstuck is to become the person your future self can trust. Yeah, I'm sure you've heard that plenty of times on YouTube or manifestation podcasts, whatever. So therefore, I'm going to break it down to what that actually means and what it meant for me. Okay. So I'm going to tell you a story. It's about a woman. Her name is Anna. Okay. And she's really unhappy. And she goes to the person absolutely who's closest to her, who she loves very, very much. And she tells them how unhappy she is in life. and they know her intimately. They know her so well. They know about her health struggles. They know about her bouts of depression. They know about her traumatic childhood. They know about her PMDD. They know all about the different careers she's had, the money struggle she's had. They know about life with her children. They know all about her marriage. They know absolutely everything. They know to the minute how it's affected her. So they say, I'm going to help you. I'm going to help you, right? And in that moment, Anna's like, you're going to help me. And it's like, when the weight just comes off her shoulders, you're going to help me. You're going to help me. I'm going to help you, and I'm going to support you, and I'm going to do things for you that are going to make significant differences in your life. There's going to be like shifts. So I'm going to take you to the gym, and I'm going to be at the gym with you, and we're going to do classes together, and we're going to do it regularly, and we're going to share a personal instructor. We're going to meet up for regular coffee dates. We're going to look at your health and look at perhaps things that would make you feel better. So I'm going to get you a doctor's appointment. We're going to do a research plan on supplements and healthcare, things that would really help you, with your journey as such. Look at your perimenopause, look at your PMDD. I'm going to do lots of reading for you. We're going to research that. Financially, I'm going to support you because I'm going to commit to working a few more hours, or really, you don't have to worry about money as much because I'm going to show up for you. I'm going to take on more work, so there's going to be more money for you. When it comes to things with the kids, their activities, birthdays, Christmas, I'm going to make a plan, keep you organised, keep a calendar. I'm going to make you go, have you done this? Have you done this? Give you a checklist. I'm going to make things really easy for you. I'm going to make you tea. I'm going to do a plan out the weekly shop, do a meal plan. Sometimes you're going to come home and there's going to be a meal in the freezer or the fridge for you. The kids' lunches are going to be done. If the kids need anything, that list that you put on Amazon, I'm going to sort for you. I'm going to do that. This friend sounds like an absolute dream, don't they? I'm going to clean the house for you. I'm going to have like a regular recurring thing. So you're going to have certain things on subscription that you need all the time that are going to come through. I'm going to make sure I keep on top of your emails and your finances so you never lose control, so you're not getting confused and overwhelmed. And I'm also going to do some really fun things with you as well. So I want you to find something that you really would love to do or you enjoy doing, whether it's an experience or with it being you, Anna, a course or book, something you've always wanted to try. And we're going to do this together, this hobby. Okay, we're going to book it in and we're going to do it. What an absolute dream. Now, all of that, as you can imagine, lots of little things like that would make a huge impact to your life, would make a significant difference, right? And how amazing it would be for someone to do that for you. Here's what happened though with Anna. So the day that she was going to go to the gym came round and she wasn't picked up. So she didn't get to go to the gym. So instead, she just sat in front of the TV and ate junk. She told a friend about the hobby or the fun thing she wanted to do, and they never booked it. So it never happened. They said they were going to, but they didn't. She got home, there was no tea or dinner in the fridge or the freezer, and the weekly shop that was going to be delivered hadn't been done. The kids' washing hadn't been put through the washing machine or put through the dryer. The house hadn't been cleaned or mopped. She said she was going to do it tomorrow though, so she'll probably do it tomorrow. There's a whole plan on supplements, a massive research plan of all supplements that she needed. So I said, we're going to look at HRT, we're going to look at things for your joints, we're going to look at collagen, things like that. There it is. But they haven't been put through Amazon, or there's no subscription service on supplements. So they're just going to sit there in the notes. The kids' Christmas, the kids' birthdays, the kids' activities, well, they're coming round, but there's no plan there. So Anna just has to make do, flying by the seat of her knickers, getting them to their activities on time, always in a rush, always stressed, last minute plans for Christmas and birthdays. Finances are all over the place because a friend said that she was going to help her. A friend said she was going to check in on a bank account, her finances, maybe make a spreadsheet for her, a budget, help keep things organised, but she didn't. So Anna decided maybe not to look at her bank account that day, maybe not that week. She's getting through. Anna continues just to get through on the hamster wheel of getting by. Now, you know what I'm going to say, and it's true. This friend is you. This friend is me. And Anna is actually the future Anna. And by looking at it like that, suddenly it just made me realise how utterly, appallingly and neglectful I am being to my future self. Would I treat my lobster, my loved ones, my kids like that? No. Never, ever, ever would I do that. And by that I mean, do I sometimes, so the kids will, they'll have certain things on, so it might be school and they need something, I don't know, they need something buying for school, or they need their help with their homework, or they need a form filling in, they need their uniform washed and dried, they need their food in for their lunches, etc., etc. I mean, this could go on forever, right? Now, sometimes do I fall behind with that? Yes. Sometimes do I forget? Yes. Do I ever sit back and go, fuck it, I'm not going to help you kids? I mean, I would. I mean, I plan to, and I probably will, but I'll do it tomorrow. No. I know full well as well, my kids have said to me, when they're stressed about something, I go to them, look, have I ever let you down? Do you trust me? And they go, yeah, we trust you. Is that to say I've not ever not done, of course I've not done something. Of course I've forgotten to do something. Sometimes things get away from me. Have I ever done it on purpose? No. And of course when it has happened, I've dropped the ball, I've gone, oh God, really stressful. And then of course I'll make up for it in some way and I'll make a change to make sure it doesn't happen again in the future. It's not about being perfect, because reading off this list, you think, oh my God, that woman sounds absolutely perfect. That friend sounds absolutely amazing. It's not about that. It's about how you treat your future self. And just think, right now in this moment, I'm sat here and my future self might be looking back on this moment as a memory. That gives me tingles. So there must be times in your life where that have been really significant in your change, that you've made a massive shift. There was one for me when I called time on my marriage. I was in the kitchen, I was making coffee. Occasionally I look back and I can remember it. I can remember that moment. I know where I was. I know how I felt. I can remember the sentence, the conversation. And I know at the time she would have had no idea that my future self would look back on that moment. But I do. So how you treat your future self, as in if you are pretty much neglectful, show no effort, procrastinate, cannot be asked, that is going to be your life. That is going to be your life today. That is going to be your life tomorrow. On a much micro scale, if you think about the impacts, you're thinking, it's really hard for us as humans to go, the things I do today are going to make an impact tomorrow, next week, etc. So I know that happens with people with a workout regime. I don't have one, by the way, so I can only go from what I've heard. A few of my friends do. So they know that if they stick to a workout routine several times a week for 3 months, consistently, they can imagine how they're going to be in 3 months' time and the knock-on effect that will have to other aspects of their life, right? However, when they're sat on the sofa watching a really juicy TV program and it's really cold and it's dark and it's windy and you're like, oh, I just don't want to go out to the gym, it's so easy, isn't it, in that moment to go, no, I'll do it tomorrow, right? But what they do in that moment is they think about their future self in 3 months' time, going, you're dumping me, you're abandoning me, because that is what we're doing. We're abandoning ourselves, our future selves. We're treating ourselves like shit every time we let ourselves down. Does that mean we have to keep to every promise? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But what if letting yourself down and abandoning yourself every single time becomes the norm? You would never treat anyone else like that. For example, when I come down on a morning and the night before, if I prep for the next day, and I'm at the point now I'm probably 8 out of 10 times I do. Obviously with some of my health conditions, sometimes it is really, really hard. And that's the time when I probably should ask for help, and certainly with the kids. But if I have stocked the fridge, made plans for the kids' lunch the next day, if I have taken clothes out the washer, put them in the dryer overnight, if I have wiped down the kitchen so it's all clean, so I'm coming down to a clean kitchen, as opposed to starting my day off coming down to a kitchen that hasn't been cleaned since dinner the night before. There isn't the things that I need in the fridge. There's wet clothes in the washing machine and I have to go through a cycle again. My day is going to start off on such a shit way, isn't it? I'm going to go like, oh. And then I'm going to get behind, and then I'm going to feel rubbish, and then I'm going to blame myself. And then also as well, I'm going to not be particularly nice to my past self and go, oh, why didn't you do that? They say one of the worst decisions you can make as an adult is to get petrol in the morning. And I think that, again, is a great analogy for life. It's so true, right? We've all done it. Imagine like, oh, I really need to get petrol for work or that trip that I'm going tomorrow and you might be leaving quite early. I'll just go in the morning. I'll just go. We all know that you're going to be running late. We all know that when you get to the petrol pump or the plug-in or whatever you do, there's going to be a queue. Or maybe the tank's not working. We all know you're going to be a queue at the till. We all know it's going to take 10 or 20 minutes longer than what it actually should, and it's going to put you behind. Whereas the you that did it the day before, that took 10, 20 minutes out of their day before to get that done, now I just go to the car. Oh, it was done for me. It's like someone's filled the car up for me. How nice of them. The person that cleaned the car the day before. Yeah. It's just these little things that we prep, that we would do for others, that we would do for our kids, that makes such a huge impact. And if that becomes our norm, think about further down the line the difference it will make. All these little mini habits, the way we look after after each other, but the way we look after our future selves is going to be so huge to our shift. It's going to be so, the biggest impact it possibly can. When I look back and realise the way I was treating myself, I actually nearly cried. And if you're sat there right now thinking, God, I've not been treating myself very well, I've certainly spoken about it before, like, with our inner voices, the way we speak about ourselves, the way we criticise ourselves, beat ourselves up, when we get things wrong. Got to be a lot kinder. Would we speak that way to our other people? No. So please don't speak that way to yourself. But now this is about doing shifts for your future self. Am I saying do it with a smile on your face? You can try, but that's not always the case. Look, when I'm really tired and I'm like, oh, right, okay, I'm going to prep for tomorrow. I'm going to prep for next week. I'm going to do that. I'm going to prep for this podcast a few days before, etc., etc. I'm a bit sometimes gritted teeth. Absolutely. But what I do to to encourage myself to do it is to think about the knock-on effect it will have on my future self. So when I go to the car and I've taken my prepped handbag out for the day with my prep lunch, things are in line, I've got a schedule to follow. The car's been filled, the car is clean, the kitchen is clean, the dishwasher's put on, a washer's been done. I actually look back and I go, thank you. Thank you for doing that. Thank you for doing that, Anna. Because she will be there. She will be there listening on some level, I promise. So when you have that moment of like, oh, I could, think about the impact it will have tomorrow, next week, next month, and for bigger things even next year. Now, of course, I'm talking about little micro shifts here, but this does apply obviously to really big things as well. So it might be like a conversation with a person that you really have been putting off. It might be something to do with the bank, might be to do with finances, it might be applying for a loan or a mortgage. It might be to do with divorce, separation. It might be something to do with your kids. And it'd be like, the reason that we don't want to do it is because it's big. It's because it's uncomfortable. It's because it's hard. And if something's hard, why do we want to do it? But in those moments, that is again what I'm thinking. If I do this thing which is uncomfortable, and I've got to be really brave, what will be the implications of that? What will I get from it? So at the moment, I've got to speak to HMRC because they're taking an amount of tax off me every month, saying that I owe when I actually don't. And I've seen it and I've noticed it. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to have to go in a queue. I'm going to have to speak to them. And I'm going to have to explain. And I always feel so stupid when I'm speaking to HMRC. I always feel like, oh, I probably even say to them, I know I sound like such an idiot, but I've done this. I've had a few conversations like that with them over the years. And then they have to go through and they go, so what you mean is you've done this? And I'm like, no, what I mean is I've done that and that and that. Anyway, so I know what I've got to do. I know it's not going to be a fun conversation. I'm probably going to get frustrated and I'm going to feel a bit daft. But at the end of it, telling myself that it will be resolved means that every month I don't have to sort out this ongoing tax issue, this deduction that's happening. And as well, best case scenario, I might get a rebate. Well, I will be due a rebate as well. I really need to put on my big girl knickers and get that sorted. But it's those sort of things that we really do put off. But the thing that gets me through, the thing that makes me do the shift, is to think about the implications on my future self. How do I explain myself? I've got one more analogy, right? And this happened with my daughter. Okay, so my daughter is 17 and she's at that age where, like younger kids and younger teenagers don't go out with anything. So I know, so my son is 9, and when he goes out, I take everything for him. Like, even if it's a school, I'll say, "Have you got your bag?" I have to tell him that, but I'm the one that's packed his bag. Okay. And also I have my mum bag with me at all times, and it's just got things that he might need in it. There's a point when the kids start going out, and they either get into the point where so for girls especially, they take a handbag with them with their life in it, or they become one of these girls, women, humans, that rely on other people. Don't marry someone like that. I've tried it. Anyway. So my daughter, who's 17, has got a part-time job in hospitality. I'm really, really proud of her. And it's really good. It's good for her independence and, her own money and confidence, etc., etc. She was just going out in her uniform and with her phone. And I said to her, "Where's your handbag?" And she said, "I don't need my handbag. I've got everything I need." And I said, "You've got everything you need right now. You're not thinking about the next 10 minutes, hour, end of the day." We did end up having a little spat, if I'm quite honest, because I said, do not be one of those people that you're relying on just other people to have maybe a plaster in their handbag, a hairbrush, hairspray, tissues, Tampax, a drink, okay? Don't be one of those people. I said, what you're doing is you're thinking too much right now. I've got everything I need. You're not thinking about you in an hour's time, 3 hours time, etc., etc. And I was thinking about my group of friends. And very early on, because of my background, I was one that started carrying a handbag with things that I would need or potentially would need. And then what happened is some of the groups started using a handbag too, but some of them never did, because they were like, "Oh, if Anna's coming, she'll have everything I need in her handbag." Don't be her. Don't be her. Anyway, I think we had a bit of an up and down conversation about this, me and my daughter, but we got there eventually. And I said, you are not thinking about your future self, but also you're not thinking about others, okay? Because you imagine how great it all is if you all have a handbag with everything you need in it. But what if somebody messes up, forgets something, forgot one day? Then, oh, Kate's here. Yeah, she will have something I need. Or hopefully you can be the save the day girl. Okay, so you're thinking about yourself, you're thinking about others, you're not being reliant. It's not even being reliant, isn't it? It's just assuming that other people are going to save your ass. So anyway, the handbag analogy, that's what I mean by that. With your handbag, you've got things in that you might need in the next few hours. And in that sense, you are taking care of yourself. I think we've got there. I'm going to sum this all up by, ultimately, it's taking responsibility. Taking responsibility. The way you're living now, however you're stuck, whatever you are unhappy in, whatever you're struggling, yes, it's not fair, yes, it is shit, absolutely. But it's only you that can change that, and you can only change that by shifting. It might be something so, so small, but only you can do that, and only you can do that for your future self. And I bet right now your future self is saying, thank you, thank you, thank you. Your past self is cheerleading, clapping, going, go on, do it. Make the shift. You know you can. Put that drink in your handbag. Put that snack bar in there. Put your gym kit in the car. Okay? I have decided with her shift ongoing that I obviously am not in a position to help you directly with what has caused you to be where you are with your unhappiness. I can't help you with what's caused your PMDD, your depression, where you are in your relationship. Would I recommend therapy? Absolutely. But what I can help with is sharing the tools and resources and the reading and the growth that I've gone through myself that has helped me And that is what I intend to do. So it's going to be a more superficial level. And it's these little micro helps, supports, that which will help your shift, which I'm hoping is what I can build the community on. So however you are stuck, whatever part of your life you're stuck in, and it could be every part, seriously, that's okay too. And even if it feels really superficial, like I'm stuck with like quite a superficial issue compared to perhaps someone who you think might have a deeper problem, please, you are valid, it is valid, you are seen, it does not make a difference here. Here at Her Shift, we don't do comparisons, and we are the ultimate no judgy space. I will say that again. We have got another meetup with the PMDD hub in the northeast of the UK, and that is coming up mid-November. There'll be more spiel on that coming soon, with the idea to eventually roll them out throughout the UK. It just takes a little bit of, well, tweaking to get it right, to know what people need and the support they need. And if I'm going to be honest, it also takes funding, which, yeah, is always hard, but we can get there. We can get there together. And it's people that I've noticed, like in the media, that is changing things for women. Women's healthcare is becoming more of a priority. People like Vicky Patterson, who is on Strictly Come Dancing at the minute, talking about things more and more and more, and about how women are particularly gaslit, with their health problems when they go to see the doctor. And I think that is absolutely huge. It's certainly something I've been experiencing recently to deal with the perimenopause. And nothing is more frustrating to be told by someone in your family that they just sailed through it. And it's our generation that are weak. If you can see me on YouTube, good for you. Good for you, love. But that is not the case. So again, the more we share, the more we come together, the more that we build this space, the more noise we can make about it. That is how we are going to make change, and that is how we're going to make shift. So, as always, there are lovely links and resources in the show notes. I would love to hear from you. My DMs are always open. I want to hear your shift. I want to hear your story. I want to hear what you're stuck with. Big, small, whatever you feel about it. Please, absolutely. I want to hear from you. And if you'd like to appear on Her Shift, and if you want to be a guest, if you want to talk about your story, your shifts, and how you became unstuck, please let me know. I would absolutely love that. So until next time, please remember, you are doing amazing. You are awesome. Tell your past self that. Tell your future self that. Please, please, please keep going. You are stronger than you think. And as always, sending all my love.